Yep. Yes. So our environment is something like so we are using the GitLab. So we are using the GitLab for code, store the code and the CD purpose. Something like once we merge the code, so that Argo CD will take it and get the image from the JFrog and deploy it into the EKS. Deploy it into the EKS. This is the our latest architecture. Before how they are deploying. So in the GitLab CI, so we can merge the code. So from that code, there is a playbooks in the Ansible playbooks. So once we click the playbook, right, it will automatically run this playbook and get the image and deploy it in the Rancher Kubernetes engine. So Rancher Kubernetes engine. This is our old infrastructure, sir. So we migrated from this infrastructure to this infrastructure. So GitLab, Argo CDE, JFrog EKS. So before they used so AWX Ansible Control Tower for to deploying the application. Okay, nowadays we are using the Argo CD. Guys, understood? Guys, yeah. So while doing the real-time project, I will show you no worries. Okay. So where we are, guys? Yesterday, what we discussed, Pujita. So what we discussed in the yesterday's class, guys.
Yesterday we discussed about stateful and stateless container and Docker volumes.
Yes. Why it is not storing but saving, guys? Yeah, we discussed about the stateful, stateless, and the Docker volumes, right? So we discussed about the stateless and stateful Docker volume, bind mount volume. So today we'll discuss. Today we'll do the practical slides. Okay. 1 second. I'm opening the PPT. Yes, right. We can deploy. So we already know how to deploy the Nginx containers, right? So this one. So this one you already know it, right? So Docker volumes are without Docker. Docker volumes are used to persist the data generated by the Docker containers. Using Docker volume, we can decouple the Docker storage from the Docker container. Using Docker volume, we can share the data among the multiple Docker containers. So on deletion of a container Docker volume, we will not be deleted. So right, so how you can create the Docker volumes? Okay, how you can share that Docker volume? Yeah. So how to create the Docker volume command. So to display the Docker volumes, what is that, guys? Docker volume hyphen helper. So right, volume. 1 second, guys. So what is that? Docker volume command. Docker volume command. So what are the Docker volume commands, guys? So display Docker volumes. Okay, how to display the Docker volumes? So you can display the Docker volume by using Docker volume ls. The next one, create Docker volume. How to create the Docker volumes, guys? You can create the Docker volumes by using Docker volume. Create volume name. Create the volume name. What is that? Inspector. Inspect Docker volume. How to inspect the Docker volumes, guys? Inspect the Docker volume. So Docker volume. Inspect the volume. Volume name. Right. This is nothing but a inspect. Inspect is nothing but a to see the volume details, everything. So volume details, volume name, so how much size, everything we can in the inspect we can see it. Okay. So what is the next? Remove the Docker volume. How to remove the Docker volume? So, remove Docker volume. How to remove the Docker volume? Docker volume or volume name. Right, guys. Volume name. Right. So remove all volumes. How to remove all volumes? All Docker. So all Docker volumes. So Docker system. Docker system. Chrome. Hyphen volumes. It will delete all the volumes. So it will delete all the volumes.
Hello.
Once again, see.
For me, oh, okay, okay, okay.
you guys how to create the volumes. So this is nothing but a anonymous volume or a bind. So anonymous volume or a named volume. So bind mount volume is nothing but a we can create the directory. We can create the directory in the EC2 instance and we can attach it to that volume. We can attach it to that container is nothing but a bind mounting. Sino, are you asking something? Srino study.
Nothing, nothing. Screen is stuck, I think.
No, no,
That's why I
no.
called.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
Sarangi, you, yeah, yeah. Sarangi, are you able to see, right? Yeah, how we can create the
Yes,
Docker
yes, yes, yes.
volume commands. So display Docker volumes, create a Docker volume, inspect the Docker volume, remove the Docker volume, remove all Docker volumes, right? So we can use these commands to create and delete the Docker volumes. Okay? Yeah. So right, so how we can share the data from one container to another container, right? So this is the container and this is the container. So if you create the Docker volume and you can post this doc, we can create the Docker volume and we can add the index.html in this Docker volume. So if that container is deleted, this volume will not deleted, right? So this volume is attached to the another container, whatever the modifications are there, right? So it will not delete that one. So that is the use of Docker volume, stateful containers. What is that? A stateful containers. So Docker volume creation. So pulling Nginx image from the Docker Hub, Docker pull Nginx. So running the Nginx image using the Docker container, Docker run hyphen name web app one hyphen d port number Nginx. Access the static website using EC2 VM public IP, which is hosted by the Nginx. Modify the static website content index.html. Then you can modify it as a blujay.com. Access static website using EC2 VM public IP, which is hosted by the Nginx. Stop the Docker container and run the Docker container and then Docker container web app 2. But whatever we modified, right, that will not be displayed in the another container because of this container is deleted and so we modified in this container only. So right, that's the reason we can create the Docker volume, the named Docker volume, create the Docker volume and attach it to the that HTML, that index.html to this Docker volume. And if the Docker container is deleted, but the modification is not deleted because of that modification is done on the Docker volume. Right? Let's see this. So Oracle Virtual Machine, I'm using guys, this is my to EC2 instance. This is in power of mode. So this one is enough, right? Shit. Okay, guys, I'm connecting to this one. PA 192.168.120. Yeah, I'm connecting to this server, guys. We don't need multiple. Putty. So what is the IP address, guys? 192.168.56.120. Go to appearance, change settings, bold, 18, okay, open, root, red hat, Docker is running, systemctl status Docker, inactive mode, you need to start the Docker, click PA, yeah, Docker is running, right, no. So what you need to do, you need to pull the pull Docker pull nginx. 1 second, guys. Yeah. So we are pulling the Docker image. Now, how to see the Docker images, guys? Srinivas,
Docker
Pujita.
image ls.
What is that?
Docker image ls.
So Docker images. What is that? The latest one. Nginx latest is the we just now pulled this Docker image. Docker ps hyphen e. These all are there. I need to stop all these Docker containers. Docker rm. Docker stop. Container id. Container id. Container id. Stop, right? Docker RM. What is that? How to remove these Docker containers? Just a RM. You see Docker PS, nothing is there. Right. So just now, so this is the Docker images. What is this? Result is Docker image. So I want to run this Docker image as a container. How to run, guys? Docker run hyphen name equal to web app one. Okay, hyphen D for port 80 colon 80 host port and container port nginx. Okay, so container is running. Let's see the container is running or not. Yes, the container is running. Container ID. So 4 seconds ago, and status is up from the last 3 seconds. This is 8080. Let's see it. HTTP colon double slash 192.168 dot 192.168.56.120 colon 80. I see. So what this is, guys? This is the Nginx. Nginx web server is running on the container. This container the web server is running. So I'm modifying this web. So I'm logging to that. I'm connecting to that container, and I will modify this web page index.html. I will modify this one. So how to modify? So Docker exec executable hit integrated terminal. So web app one bin bash. What is that, guys? Bin bash. So now before we are in the EC2 instance, now we are in the container. We logged into the container. Okay. So cd usr share nginx HTML. What is the path for the index? So that that website is deployed under the USR share nginx HTML. Okay. So ls, what is that? Index.html. VA. So I want to edit the index.html. So VA is not there. Just so we can run the one command echo welcome to Blujay Tech. So welcome to Blujay Tech. Okay. So want to modify it on the index.html. Okay. Cat index.html. So welcome to Blujay Tech. It is modified, right? Let's see. So what it is, guys? It's modified to welcome to Blujay Tech. Welcome to Blujay. So this is the website. This container. What this container? So exit. Okay. Docker ps hyphen a. What this? This is the container running, and in this container, so we modified the index.html. Welcome to bluejtech.com. So we are stopping this container. Docker stop. Docker stop. Docker ps hyphen a. This is excited. Now I'm running the another container with the web app 2 with the same image, nginx image. Okay, docker ps hyphen a. Okay, this is running. Let's see. Let's see. So the container is running, another container is running, but what it is showing Blujay, welcome to Blujay or same. So nginx web page. Guys, so which will display, guys? It will
Welcome to Nginx.
it will display the nginx page or modified page. Default page or modified page. Guys, default page or modified page. What it will display? Pujita, Srinivas, Sarangya, Ishwar, Harish,
With port ID, will connect to modified page.
modified page. Huh?
Yeah.
What it is showing? It is
Nginx.
showing default one. Why? That container is deleted. That container is deleted. Where we modified in the web app one container. Web app one container, not in the volume. We modified in the container itself only. If the container is dropped or if the container is crashed, the data will be deleted or not. Yesterday we discussed it. The data
Yeah.
will be deleted by default, so it will be deleted, right? So right, if we run the another container, but it takes the default one only, but it takes the default one only. So what we can do? So we can create the Docker, we can create the Docker volume. So what is the option, guys? So the option is create the Docker volume. So create the Docker volume and attach that Docker volume to the whatever the USR share nginx HTML index.html, right? So that path will be attached to new volume. So whenever you modified that index.html in this new volume, if we delete the web app 20, so the data will be losing or not? The data will not lose because of you modified in the volume. You modified in the volume. Yes, understood?
Here we can give any type of port number, right? Another than 80.
The default port number for the nginx is 80. So this
Yeah,
will
for
not
the Nginx
modify,
is
but
80.
here we will modify.
Yeah.
So we will modify the host port if you want.
Yeah.
But the Nginx, the
Container
default
port
port,
we can't. Yeah.
yes, we can't. We can modify it, but we need to log into the container and modify, go to the that path and modify that path, right?
Okay.
So this we can modify it. I will show you. Okay, let's see. So let's see this one also. I will stop. Docker stop for container ID. What this is? This is the container ID. The web to it is stopped. So Docker RM this one and this one container is running now. Docker ps Docker is running. How to stop, guys? Docker stop container Docker RM or container ID. Okay. Now there is no containers running. Okay. So first we need to create the Docker volume. How to create the Docker volumes, guys? Docker first we need to check the any volumes are there. Docker volumes are sorry. Docker volumes ls. Docker volumes. Docker volume. Okay, there is no Docker volumes. How to create the Docker volumes, guys? Docker volume, create volume name. Val one, val doc. So how to create the Docker volume? Docker volume, create volume name. So this is the Docker volume, right? So how to attach this Docker volume? How to attach this Docker volume to container? So right, one second. Yeah. So how to attach this volume? So how to attach this volume, guys? Docker, Docker volume ls. Let's see. Before there is no Docker volume here. There is no volumes now. So one volume, that volume name is Docker volume or wall-docker. Wall-docker. Okay. So Docker run -d name equal to web app 20. I am giving the name to web app 1 or web app 1. Web app 1 mount. So mount source equal to, what is the source, guys? Source equal to wall docker. Source is a Docker volume. Destination is comma destination equal to usr slash share slash ngnx slash html p 9080 ngnx. Okay, here Docker volume run -d is nothing but a detached mode. The Docker name is web app one. So the whatever we created the Docker volume that will be mounted to the container that index.html page is available in this path. So we are mounting from Docker volume to usr share nginx html. Okay. Docker ps-a Docker ps-a. So this is the Docker volume running up and running from 9 11 seconds. 11 seconds. What you can do, you can connect to this Docker volume, or you can connect, sorry, you can connect to that container. exec-it is nothing but integrated terminal. Integrated terminal. What is that? Web app one. Web app one in bash. How you can connect this container through the bash. Okay, now we are in the container. So what you can do, cat cd usr share nginx html. Okay, cat index.html. So this is the index.html. So we are modifying it to echo welcome to Blujay Tech. Welcome to Blujay Tech to index.html. Index.html. Okay, we modified it. Cat index.html. Yes, modified. Now let's check the what is the port number, guys. We modified to 19. Okay, now welcome to Blujay Tech. Now welcome to Blujay Tech. So we are stopping this container. So exit from this container. Okay. Docker ps-a. I'm stopping this container. Docker stop container ID. Okay, I'm stopping this container. Then Then I will create the another container with the same mount point, Docker volume mount point. So my container name is web app 2 hyphen mount here. So Docker volume same. So this is path also same 9090, or we can give 70 for the differentiation. Docker ps hyphen a. This web app 2 is running now. So before we stop the container and we will run the again, so it will display the default Nginx page. Now let's see. So in the Docker volume, we have a index.html that is modified, and so we stopped the container one, web app container one, and we started web app container two. Then let's see, let's see the port number. Instead of 70, instead of 80, instead of 90, 70. You see, guys, what is this? The modified content is showing or the default content is showing? Guys, the modified content is showing or the default content is showing? Docker ps hyphen a. If you go to that container again, so what is that? Docker web app 2. Okay. cd/usr share nginx html, right? Cat index.html, right? You see, but the container is a new container. But when we see this index.html, so why it is modified content? Because of this is mounted to the same Docker volume. This is mounted to the same Docker volume. That's the reason the data is not deleted. The data is not deleted. This is nothing but a stateful container. This is not a stateless container. Guys, understood? Guys,
Yes, Hari. It's clear now.
yes, right?
Yeah.
Hello, Hari. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. I think he's busy.
He's in call.
Yep, Sarangpani, tell me.
Yes. So I just have a question. Like, suppose there is two containers are running parallelly, and
Hmm.
both are targeting to one index.html. Okay,
Yes, 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 yes,
and
yes.
one is running on one is running on host machine 70 port number, and
Hmm.
one is running on 80
Running
port
on
number. So
90.
there anything, okay, different port number. So
Hmm.
is there any complaints will come, or like if
Yeah,
both will be going to be changed, then how it
yeah,
will be work
basically,
in
yes, yes, yes.
both?
The default behavior of the container is there is no auto healing and auto scaling concept. There is no auto
Okay,
scaling and auto healing. So whatever you are saying, this port number is 80, this port number is 90, right? This port number is 90 and this port number is 80. So if we use that port number, then only we can see, we can connect to this, that index.html. Right, that's the reason. So that Kubernetes concept is came into the picture. So for the traffic, if you have the traffic is 30% increases for this container, it will automatically create the another container. It will automatically create the another container. It will automatically container the other another container, and that website traffic will be in through the load balancing. So this is just
Okay.
how to access the Docker volume to a container. Understood, Sarangpani?
Yes, yes. But my question was not there.
Mm.
Like
Mm, mm,
my question was like there is two containers. The
Two
container
containers
ID
are
is
running.
different, right?
It is
The
different.
container
Two
ID
containers
is
are.
different. Yes.
Mm,
So for a first container, like you have changed the index.html something
mm, mm,
content,
mm,
and
mm,
for
mm,
the second container, you also changed some content. So you
mm,
are going to be stored inside one volume, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
So if both will be going to pull at a time only, then which one will be stored there? My
Data,
question was
data.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, data.
Good question. I will show you. I will show you that one. So you said right that Docker PS hyphen A. So this is running. Second one is running. So you are saying like that. If first one also running, if first one also running, so which one we will show it? Let
Yes.
me run this one also. Port number
I think
90.
it will be take the updated one only, right?
Yes, updated one only we can take. Docker run hyphen volume, Docker app mount of source. So Docker response from the daemon conflict. The container name web one is already is used by the container. Move that container to able to use it, that name. To,
It is coming for Docker PS you can use. That is running. That's it is telling Docker PS.
yes.
No, Docker PS.
No, no. If you use the Docker PS hyphen A, it will show the stopped one and that running one. Okay. So what it means, the volume we can attach it to only one container at a time for the running. So understood? So we are trying to attach the same volume to the another container, same volume to the another container. It is showing something like Docker run hyphen d name web app one mount. Doc, oh yeah, sorry. Docker ps hyphen a Docker start. Yes. Docker ps hyphen a, both are running. So now your question is something like, so if you are running with the different port number 70, it will show the, so welcome to Blujay Tech. Something like if you use the 90, it is also welcome to Blujay Tech. So what is your question is, if we modify that volume, if we modify that volume on any one of the container, it will reflect on the other container also, right? Sarangpani?
Yes, yes.
Hmm. So So Docker exec hyphen it. So the container bin bash. Okay. So cd usr share nginx html. Okay. So echo welcome to So welcome to AWS with DevOps class, DevOps batch 60, index.html, cat index.html. Okay, welcome to AWS with DevOps patch 60. It is modified in the container 2. So is it reflect on the container 1? Yes, it will reflect to the container 1 also. Yeah, so it is the 90 and the 7. Got it, Sarangpani?
Yes, yes.
Yes, right? Yeah. So the next concept is this is the volume creation on your container, on your EC2 instance, Docker volumes. Okay. I don't want a Docker volume. So what is the command guys to pull all the Docker volumes? Docker volumes, Docker volume ls, Docker volume rm volume name. Error response from daemon, remove Docker volume is in use. Yeah. Docker ps-a, Docker stop rm. Okay. Now let's remove this Docker volume ls. Yeah, there is no Docker volumes. Okay, so what is the next volume? Okay, mounting the bound volumes. Bound volumes are a named volumes. So what is that? On your EC2 instance are a virtual machine. So you can create the directory and mount it to the Docker container. So in the named volume, what you can do, you can create the Docker volume on the instance and you attach the Docker volume to the Docker container. But now what you can do, something like mkdir slash app logs. So you create the applux file is already exist rm-rf slash app. Yeah. So don't waste time. So mkdir docker logs. For example, you created the slash docker logs is the directory on where you created and you created under the cd slash. You see, right? Docker logs. This is the directory. So you can mount this directory to the Docker volumes. So that is nothing but a bind volumes or a named volumes. So mounting the bound volumes or a named volumes is nothing but a you can create the directory in our EC2 instance or a virtual machine. Then you can mount it to the Docker container. That is nothing but a bound volumes or a named volumes. Host directory mounting to host directory. What is the host directory? Slash Docker logs is the host directory. Host directory mounting to the Docker container. So create a directory in the host name. Create a directory in the host name. Run Docker container for the Nginx image with the directory mounting. Then Docker container and so go to the mount and create the index.html and you can just modify the index.html. Modify the index.html. That is nothing but a bound mount volume. In the interview question, how I can mount my host mission directly to the Docker container called as a bind mount concept. So what is the concept, guys? The concept is bind mount concept. So let's see. So I created the directory called as a Docker log. So then I am running the container. I'm running the Docker container, Docker images. So I have that my Nginx container. I want to run this run this image as a container. So how to run, guys? Docker run -d -p 8080:80, then -v. What is that? Mount. How we can mount? So that mount is -v. But in the named mount, you can use the -mount. Source destination. But here you can use the -v option. So what is that? App Docker logs. What is that? So Docker logs colon slash usr slash n slash share nginx html name. What is the name, guys? Web app 1. Web app 1 nginx ginx colon latest r nginx. Okay. Docker ps -a. You see, right? So this is up and running, but you mounted to what you mounted? You mounted app logs. Sorry, you mounted the Docker logs to the this HTML. Now go to slash Docker logs. So nothing is there. Now you can run the vi index.html. Okay. So what is this? HTML body eg color equal to red or yellow. You know, H1 time. Welcome to G Technologies. Close the H1 tag. H1 tag. Close the body tag. Close the HTML tag. Okay. Let's see it in the browser. Let add index.html. Right, access see the container which is running. Let's see. So Docker ps -e. 2 minutes running. Let's see connected to the server. Docker exec -20 container id bin bash. Not mounted, huh? Tempo nginx html xit r rmi index.html ls cd exit docker ps -e not mounted, huh? Let's see the cd slash Okay, here also deleted. Text. That's HTML.
Sir, can you check like in the host machine only you are getting the updated content or not?
Yeah, check it. HTML. One second, guys. Able to see, right, guys? Guys are able to see? And index.html. Proper PS. UTLSR share. Next HTML. This is this. Created two HTMLs. That's the reason, guys. Wow. I think permission issue. Maybe permission issue, guys. Mostly permission issue. That index.html. Yes, very proud of this. Offensive. We are Python HT. DBlux is there, huh?
Sir,
CD.
you have deleted that default index.html and manually
Mm,
created. That's why
mm.
Nginx is not able
Yes,
to
yes, yes,
understand this
yes,
file.
yes, 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 yes. Let's delete it again. Docker ps hyphen a, Docker rm, Docker stop. Yeah. So what we will create? We will create, let's see, mkdir hyphen p slash temp nginx slash html. Let's create this one. Docker. Is it Docker? Yeah, here we can use this one temp slash nginx slash html colon usr share html adapt one docker ps hyphen e this running cd temp nginx html and create a vi index dot html. Onto Blujay technologies.
Sir, I think same issue will come again.
Hmm?
Same issue will come. I think, according to my understanding, you need to change inside the Nginx users share bin and inside that
Hmm.
in index.html is there, right?
So you are asking about you need to
No, no. According to my understanding, we need to change inside the Nginx, like
yeah,
user share bin.
yes, yes,
If
it's
we'll
like
change and we'll pass that to container, then maybe it will understand.
mm-hmm. No index.html to index dot back. Alright, there is no file. Let's connect to the server. Docker ps hyphen e docker exec hyphen it. This is the one. Bin bash cd slash usr nginx share nginx html. Let's see va index.html cat index.html. You're asking to change this one only, right?
I was telling we need to change inside the root machine, a host machine.
Mm-hmm.
If we'll change inside the host machine, it will reflect in the container only, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Welcome to Blujay technologies. cd dump nginx. Let's see, guys. Let's see once. Welcome to Blujay Technologies. It is showing welcome to Blujay Technologies, but it will modify here. Will automatically change it, but I don't know. index.html, right? Ls va move index.html index.html then add the index.html. This is not reflecting.
No, sir, it is reflecting. No, you should go inside the user share nginx, right?
Hmm.
User share nginx, and there is a HTML file. It should be updated, right? It will be updated
Hmm.
inside the
Hmm.
host machine as well.
Coach mission we updated. cd let's see cdsr share nginx html info welcome to AWS DevOps batch 60. You see, it is updated. Where we updated here? We updated here only. So it is taking this one, right? I think
Yes,
no
sir.
point having issue. Curve. User local has been user local bin. Source to temp nginx HTML. Destination user share nginx HTML. So read and write preparation activate. Mm, Mounts looks good, right? Type equal to bind mount, source equal to temp nginx HTML. So destination equal to user share nginx HTML. Mode and read write to true. Propagation are private. Yeah, it looks good only. Temp nginx HTML. Index.html. Welcome to Blujay Technologies. This one cd dot cdn dash research research engine HTML. Let's set up HTML. Okay. Let's start HTML. Sorry. Okay. Understood, guys. Let's see. Guys, what is the mistake? So here HTML is the mistake, guys. One second. Docker ps-e docker stop docker stop docker rm. Yeah, this is the mistake, guys. Actually, I'm HTML. Here I mistake HMTL. So cd temp nginx HTML cat index.html. Welcome to Blujay Technologies. Okay, let's see. Came up. You guys understood now? So what it is here, guys? So here HTML body bg color equal to yellow. Welcome to Blujay Technologies. This is the index.html for the bind mount. So if you want to change this vi, so body color equal to red. You change the body color equal to red. Let's see. Yes, it is changed. So the different. So what we did the mistake is something like instead of HTML, I created the HMTL. HMTL, that's the reason it is not showing from the bind mode. Understood? Sarangi, Pujita, Sarangi, Srinivas Reddy.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, right?
Hari. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry? Yeah. So from tomorrow onwards, so we will show you the Kubernetes, guys. We'll show you the Kubernetes. Meanwhile, I will show you the Docker Compose, how you can create the that Docker Compose file. So we'll show you within 5 minutes. Then we will start the Kubernetes. Okay. Yep, thank you,
Sure.
guys.
Yeah.
Yesterday